Hi, I'm Lucas Lagravette. I'm the game director and lead writer on Syberia, The World Before.
Lucas, talk about your process as a writer for a video game. Is that a different process than writing like a novel or a screenplay?
Yeah, it's different on some ways. I was trained to be more of a screenwriter. That was my field of studies. But what's important with the Syberia series is that it was created by someone else, someone called Benoît Socal. And he was a writer for comics, and also he used to draw his comics. So he and we had this process in which he kind of came with the core story, if I can say so, and then we would develop it together, a bit like you would do maybe like a TV show if you look at the scope of the project, because a movie, it's like 90 minutes, whereas a game like Syberia, it's more like 15 hours, so it's not the same scale of writing.
Do you have to figure out game mechanics as you're writing the script, or
Yeah.
does the script come first, then you write game mechanics around the story you've already created and locked in?
It's a very interesting question. Thank you. It's actually very organic, at least regarding Syberia games, because as you know, it's a very narrative-driven games, and we actually do both. And I guess this is why I'm both game director and lead writer. It's because I have this core story, and then with my team of game designers and even level designers, we have a vision for gameplay mechanics that allows to tell this story. And as we write the story, we develop the features, and then both gets intricate, and we develop both together.
Now, this is a sequel. Is there any pressure? Like, I mean, sequels are there? I feel like there's a lot of pressure in the film industry with sequels. Is it the same way in the game universe as well with the Siberia series? Like, do you feel any amount of pressure or
Yeah.
if fear of meeting expectations?
Oh yeah, it's huge actually, the pressure, because it's the fourth episode, and we were it arrived after the third one that had flaws and wasn't perfect, and players had a lot of expectation for us to not only do a good sequel but a better sequel than the previous one. And so the pressure we put on ourselves was tremendous actually.
No, I always find writing a video game so interesting. In the case of your game, it's not a triple A game like Fallout
Yeah.
4, but it's not an indie game either. Does
Yeah.
having more money open up more things creatively for you as a writer for the game, or is it just no, the story is the story no matter how big the budget is?
No, you're right. We nailed, very early in the production, that we were this, double A type of game. So it implies, to be very smart, because you have enough money to do ambitious things, but not too much. So you need, to nail what's really important, what are the main moments of the game, and put all your energy, to for them to be memorable moments. And this is, I don't know if you played the game, but we open it on this mechanical concert in the 30s on the plaza, and this is really something. It was like we need to hit hard right now, because we don't have money to do this for all the games, so we really need to have those moments.
The world of Siberia is very interesting. It's kind of real, but at the same time, you have some fantasy steampunk elements going on. Was that like intentional? Was that something that came up last minute? Was that something you and the original writer always wanted to
Yeah,
do?
it's part of the universe Benoit created. He had a really strong connection with the fantastic genre. It's something he theorized. It was like, for him, we needed to be always in this hesitation between a world that feels familiar. It's kind of our world, but with slight differences. Like he called this taking a step aside from reality.
Now, like when there are fun fantasy elements in a game like this, like are you able to be a little bit more creative in your writing, have more like of a World's Fair, or like different types of stylistic approaches to your writing because it's not grounded in real quote real life? Because it still has a
Yeah.
real tone feel. Just there's a different fantasy
No,
elements.
no, you're right. It's fantastic for us because especially in this one, in which we have all this very heavy historical background with the rising of fascism and Nazi. It we can send a message, but we don't have to stick with all very precise historical moments or stuff. It's more like an artistic vision of events more than a fully realistic depiction of them.
I'm guessing that's why the original writer has it take place in a fictional country because he can make his own political climate, doesn't have to worry about accuracy and stuff like that. Is that why they do that?
Exactly. For us, most of this game takes place in this country, which is fictional, as you said, which is called Ostertal. And we took a map and we set it in. We have set it in somewhere between Austria, Switzerland, Germany, and we take some elements of those different countries, especially Austria, but it's not Austria. So we have freedom on what we are telling about it, but always, in a very respectful manner, we hope, of the historical reality. But it gives us, a bit of slack, if I can say so, creatively speaking.
What sort of inspirations did you pull from when writing the script for this game? Did you watch any films, TV, play other games?
Yeah, we had a few. Actually, what's interesting is that for Benoit, it's a bit a way of telling a bit of his family story. Our second character, Dana, she lives some events that are inspired by Benoit's family. So it was something, very personal and important for him. And we had also, maybe not specific movies or stuff, but it was a genre, like we wanted to be a bit like an investigation movie,
Noir?
Kate. Yeah, exactly, a bit, light, but we wanted to have this investigation going in the present, in which you unravel the mysteries of the past with the character of Dana, and this gives informations about Kate and who she is.
Now, from a game design standpoint, how do you balance like storytelling with like player exploration and puzzle mechanics? So there's a nice like kind of back and forth between the two. So they're not watching a movie with just cutscenes, and they're not just exploring, picking up items.
It's it was one of our main concerns, because it's the question of the pacing in a game, and we knew that we would be a story-driven game. So we allowed ourselves, to say, okay, sometime there will be cutscenes, and we tried really to have this balance in which sometimes we allow you to have some very light inputs, but just to blur the I guess the separation between gameplay and cutscenes, to blend things together, and that at some point the player can be confused between, was this full cutscene? Did I play? It's not really important because you're stuck, and we kind of caught you in our narration.
So how long do you think the Syberia series will go on for? Are you going to wrap the arc of the story, the main arc for this game, or you think will continue in future chapters?
Well,
without giving out any spoilers.
Yeah. No. Syberia 1 and 2, they worked together, but actually every Syberia game can be a bit of the last one, because each of them, brings something more to the journey, the inner journey of our character. Kate Walker, she evolves at each episode, so you could kind of close the series at each episode, but and it's not an announcement, but Benoit Socal, before, unfortunately, he passed away last year, and he gave us some elements to do a sequel, and we in the team, we would love to do the sequel, but for now it's not our call. We don't, it's not us that will decide if there will be a sequel or not, but we could do one, and we would like to do one, actually.
I mean, would you like to see the Syberia series go like full on movie or even like Netflix series? Is that something that after you've been written this whole game for, is that something that maybe as a screenwriter, like, you'd be interested in?
Of course, it would be amazing, and taking every type of writing, every medium have, specifics of the writing. So I would love, to see the challenge of how do you transport some gameplay mechanics into a TV show, fiction or something. Yeah, it would be great. And I think Syberia, with the emphasis on the psychological development of the characters, could be a good matter for it, I think.
Awesome. So when does the game come out and what platforms will it be on?
So it came out on PC last March 2022. It came out on Xbox Series and PS5 yesterday. And we should have PS4, Xbox One, and Switch versions somewhere in 2023.
Awesome. And where can people go to find more information about Syberia, the Syberia series, and and you as a writer? Like, where can they go to find more information about you in the game?
We have, of course, an official website, which is really cool, with lots of, dedicated videos and making of and stuff, and really interesting ones. Also, we have actually very dynamic community, on the social medias, and especially the Facebook page of the Syberia series. And also I love the Reddit page we have, with a very, passionate and dedicated community. And I actually go and see, the post every week, because they're really fascinating stuff.